Okay guys, just want to show you where my progress here. Took a big hole saw, 2.5 inch, and I put 2 holes side by side, and I gotta put a little glue on that to hold it down. But then we took some hose and cut the back side of it, put it in there, and then we'll put that there, maybe a self-tapper screw or something in it to hold it. But there's our access hole for our harness. Our main engine harness and our trans harness are gonna go through here. Okay, now as you see, I got the glove box out, and you could tell where money was spent and money was not spent when they built this vehicle. Nowadays, if they're gonna build this glove box, it would be one big mold, and it would be plastic. It'd be one piece unit. This is 2 pieces, and they got screws holding it together, all that. This is like 80s technology when they built this stuff. Now, that's those 4 screws, or whatever. Yeah, no, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. Those 6 screws, oh no, 5 screws times how many million? Say they paid 3 cents a piece for those screws. And how many of these canyons did they make? It's millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Now it's just 1 piece unit. No screws, none of that stuff. So if you look at the vehicles of this era, all the 18s, and 17s, 18s, 19s, they cut corners, I'll tell you. Well, I wouldn't say they cut corners, they just do stuff a little bit more efficient. Well, anyway, nonetheless. So here is our ECM. And I put 4 holes in the back side of this. Thank God they did screw it together so I can do this. And I just lopped a big hole in that. That's going to go like that. And the ECM is going to be mounted on this side. And this will access for all of our harnesses to come through. So I'll get it together and show you. Okay. There she is, mounted in the glove box. Nice and easy. I don't have it bolted in yet, but that's where that goes. I'm gonna have to, I think, take some of this steel out of here so I can run my harnesses down through here. So that's next. But yeah, that's mint. It's mint. Looks good. Mounted there. You can access all the plugs from the back there. And we're looking good. Alright, so now on to routing them harnesses up into the engine compartment. Once I get this remounted, the harness is plugged in and routed up into the engine bay and back to the battery. And to get the trans one at least routed down there, then I could start the vehicle up on the stock computer, pull it back into here, and start taking out the factory harness. So right now, because it still runs, I could drive it in and out if I have to, So gonna pause you. Okay, we have the truck in the garage. I've been going at this for about 2 hours, trying to be as gentle as I can be, taking this wiring harness out. There are some stuff here that I had to cut. I want to say maybe starter signal. I had to cut because I was running it from the stock fuse box through the harness because I had the purple wire in the harness. So I just ran it through that harness and over to the starter. So I have to run a new starter send wire, which is no big deal. I also have to run, I got my fuel pump, starter send is over here, and then I got to figure out what I had going on. I didn't label a couple of these wires, so that's life. we'll figure it out. The fuel composition sensor is actually still wired into here, into the vehicle for power and ground. That is going to be used with the inputs and outputs. Or actually there's going to be an input with the Holley system. But let me spin you guys around. And there is the computer and then here is the rest of the squid. All that came out. And look how little is going back in. It's like half. So it's going to clean up this engine compartment leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds. And then even maybe down the road, I was talking with a few of my buddies, and I'm thinking that I am going to take the coils off of the coil brackets and off of the valve covers, and then taking them and mounting them either under the motor, under the exhaust manifolds on the sides of the block, maybe, or maybe we'll do a firewall mount. I just haven't quite decided yet, but that probably will happen when I put the aluminum intake on. Then it'll give me a little bit more room, you know, and then I could get some aftermarket nice billet valve covers for it. But that's really the least of my worries as of right now. So that is where we are as of right now. It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now I am going to feed the new harness in. I'm just going to take a breather, walk outside for a minute, get some air, and I'm really hoping that this is going to be good, because if it sucks, I'm not going to be happy, because it sucked before. But it shouldn't. It should be really good. So I'm going to pause you guys. Okay, boys. Got the intake off. I just want to show you the goodness of using E85. Look at the freaking intake runners, man. They are absolutely spotless. Let me grab this light. Spotless. I can't get over it. Look at that. Let me get a better light. Hold on. Let me spin you around. Look down at intake runner. Look at it. It is absolutely immaculate. And these all looked, you know, they were pretty dirty, you know. They were, you know, I cleaned them as best I could, but that black shit sticks there. And you can clean and clean and clean and clean. It's still remnants of it, but that is like pressure washed clean. Man, E85 is unbelievable. Okay. Anyways, back to the whole topic. I got the intake off, so now I can get the harness down, snake down to the hole, so I can start running it. So hang with me. Okay. We got the trans harness and the main ECM harness through the hole. Here's all my, you know, key triggers and stuff that I gotta hook up. Relays and fuses for the engine, and this is for the trans. Engine and trans for relays, and ground powers and whatever, what have yous. And there she is, mounted right in there. Nice and hidden. Now let's travel out here. And there's where they go down into the hole there. This is my trans harness that I gotta send down to the transmission. And here is our engine harness, which I gotta lay out. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna go under the car and get all the trans stuff done now, so I don't have to go under there no more. Well, until I do the crank trigger and the other stuff. But I gotta lay that harness out and see where everything lays. Gonna pause ya. I had to take a break and go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a coffee. Got some lights here. Stay there. Stay with me. Okay, I'm gonna spin you guys around. We have made progress. The last clip I do believe was the ECM mounted in the glove box. The harnesses are up into the car. They're all plugged in, and that is all done. Now let's go into the engine. Oh, the trans harness is now down, and that is all hooked up. The turbine speed sensor, the output shaft speed sensor, and the main plug. So that is installed. I just need to go down there and a couple wire ties just to put it in a safe zone where it's not going to get damaged in any way. That needs to be done. So I'm going to go under there and do that next. The main harness is ran. Let me just stay with me here. The main engine harness is in the vehicle. I'm kind of stuck right now because I can't really do anything because I need to pick up a oil pressure sensor, the correct one. And I have to call Holley tomorrow to see if this harness is going to work and the CCM is actually going to work with this engine. Now that we don't know. But let me spin you guys around. So the main harness, I don't understand. The main harness is ran. All that stuff is in the back, but these are just the harnesses that I have to deal with. That one's my map sensor, and that does not fit. That plug does not fit my 3-bar map sensor. My 3-bar map sensor is right here, and it's like the one that's in my car. It's a LSA LS9 3-bar map. So the plug, see how it's got those 3 on the bottom? Let me see, like let's get the 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. Well, those aren't the terminals, those are just keyways, which I could probably show you. Let's turn it around here. See if I can find it. Right here. See how that looks? It's like square. See how it looks? And it's got this doobly-doo on the top. Okay, that fits my map sensor. This is like the old style map sensor. So that ain't gonna work for me. So what we're gonna do, so I don't destroy this harness, we are going to unpin it. So we're gonna pull the terminals out of the connector. And then I am gonna get the males that go into these terminals, and we're just gonna push them in, and then I'm gonna heat shrink over them. So if I have to go back to this style sensor, say if I put a Gen 3 style engine back in it, I could put this connector back on it and bloop into the back of the motor, and there's no harm, no foul. So that's what I have to do with this, which is no big deal. And also the pin out on the LSA map sensor and the old style map sensor is different too. It's pinned different, so I have to correct that. Okay, Now, the next thing is the cam sensor, which that plug will fit my cam sensor that is located in the front timing cover. But I'm going to do the same with that. I am going to unpin it, get male terminals, slip them in, heat shrink them so they don't come unplugged, and just make an extension harness to go to the front of the motor after my conversation with Holley tomorrow. So that, and of course, seeing that they sent me the old style harness, the Gen 3 harness, that's how small the oil pressure sensor is on the older ones, and look how big the new style one is. Yeah, it's not even close. So I have to get a new sensor for there, which I actually thought I had one right here, and that's wrong. That's for a new style engine. That's for like the LT engines and 14s, 15s, 16s, 17s, 18s, 19s. So that's, I'm stuck there. I can't do nothing there. So I probably can slide the intake manifold back on, but I think I'm just going to hold off for now until I get the oil pressure sensors changed. It's just easier to just do it right now and bloop with a, you know what I mean? It's a 2-second deal instead of having to deal with long extensions, get your hand back there. It's a pain in the ass. So there's that. I'm also looking at this, and I was looking, remember how I said I had a vacuum concern? Like there was a vacuum leak? And I looked everywhere on this whole intake manifold. I looked at the gaskets. The gaskets are good. I had actually sprayed this down with carburetor cleaner, and usually you'll see a fluctuation in your idle if you have a vacuum leak, and there was nothing. And now that I'm looking at it, I did have the PCV hooked up with a one-way check valve in there, so it would not introduce boost into the crankcase, which is the right thing to do. But if you look, I'm looking here, I never had anything on this vent, and I never had it plugged. So I am wondering if this, because this usually goes up to your air box before, so you know it just recycles crankcase ventilation, you know. I never had that hooked up, so I'm just wondering if this is the source of my vacuum leak, if it's legitimately causing, pulling vacuum through the whole crankcase and causing this to give my vacuum leak. I don't know. I won't be able to tell until it's running again. And if so, if that is the case, then I'm still on the fence on how I'm gonna do this, but I still kind of want to put an air cleaner on this thing somehow, some way, so I'm gonna have to figure something out in that department. Even though air cleaners scare me on turbos because they like to suck stuff in. But that's that part of it. And I think we're pretty much done for today. So I'm going to edit this up and post for day one. Day one progress, you know. I could run power leads and run my dash, I guess. I could get that all done. I don't know. I'm on the fence on whether if I should just wait till tomorrow night to continue or what. I do right now I need to take a break from it. I've been dealing with it for a few hours now, and starting to get a little tired, you know. So that's where we're kind of at right now. Yeah, like I said, I'm on the fence. I don't know if I should run my dash and run my powers and everything that's inside the truck. You know, you have to have main, battery, positive and negative. I have to go over the directions and or I shouldn't say directions, just go over the user manual for wiring this and see where they want stuff wired. I might have to install another fuse box, one of these jobbers that's keyed inside the cabin, which is that's still not a big deal kind of scenario. I would probably just mount it to here or something. I don't really know if I would do that, if I would mount it in here. I don't think I would mount it in there. I think I would, because these wires all need to see powers and grounds and everything. So I might just mount a fuse box somewhere down here, maybe here, over here, or maybe in this kick panel. We hide it there, and the wires would be, you know, plenty long enough to go up, you know, up here and then down into here. So, and I still gotta mount all those fuses and all those relays up to something in there. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet. So that's where we're at as of right now. So I am going to take a break, go in and eat some supper, and then just rest for a little bit and then come back out, and maybe I probably will end up slamming the intake back on and getting all the rest of the stuff plugs hooked up, like all the you know, idle air control and all the other stuff. And I can make those other harnesses. That's easy enough. I have the terminals and stuff with me, and my I brought stuff home with me, my toolkits and stuff, my electronics toolkits that I use at work. I brought that stuff home so I can do all that. That's no big deal. That's about it. So I am gonna pause this. Okay. Okay. Whew. That's a wrap for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, all my 74 subscribers. We're gaining. We're getting some legs here. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. I'll see y'all next video. It'll probably be tomorrow night.